Hi, I'm Phyllis Lang, and welcome to Nightwear. This video will explain various options for reporting your observations in your log. These reports can be shared with others via hard copy or electronic files. Deep Sky Planner has extensive observation logging capability for both visual observers and imagers, but this is only half of the story. Reporting these observations is also important, and there are multiple reporting tools available to meet your need. Some of the tools overlap in capability, but the use cases that they meet differ. Let's explore this a little bit further. And first, let's suppose that you have already logged your observations, either as you observed or after observing. Furthermore, we'll assume that we have defined a project as we have recorded observations and made it a favorite project so that the observations are attached to that project. Now, in order to mark a project favorite, you need to enter the Observing Log menu and go to Observing Project Manager. Here you'll see a list of projects and a list of all the observations. You can create a new project here by clicking this button or by doing File New. And you can mark a project as favorite by selecting it and clicking Favorite. Now, you don't have to have a favorite project, but a favorite project has preferential treatment in Deep Sky Planner. As you log observations, they can be attached automatically to the favorite project, thus streamlining your logging chores. So with that, let's move forward into the actual reporting, and we'll see that putting your observations into a project makes reporting observations within a project very simple. The first and perhaps most common use case is that you want to search your log for some observations using a fairly simple filter and sorting method. And for this, I would recommend using the brief Observing Log search document. You can open one of these documents by visiting the File menu and New, and come down to Brief Observing Log to open that format of report. So here you have the Brief Observing Log search document, and you can set up a number of filters, and you can sort the report by any number of columns that you wish. So for this demonstration, I will come to the Projects filter tab. If I had a favorite project defined in the Observing Log, then it would already be selected in this list. But I don't have one selected at the moment, so I'll go ahead and select the Edge on Galaxies Observing Project. So when I create the report, every observation attached to this particular project will be included. So we'll create the report, and I'll click the Hot Zone button so you can see a little more of it. It's a fairly simple column-oriented report. You can sort by one or more columns, and you can also move columns around and turn columns on and off. You can move them around and turn them on and off using the column management tool. For example, perhaps I want to see the location, or perhaps I don't want to see the common name. And of course, to reorder the report, I click on an item and I drag it. The green arrows indicate where the column will be moved. So this type of tool is really good for just a simple report that you want to sort and you want to define in a column-oriented way. Another use case might be that you want to create a report of your observations, but you want it in a page-oriented style of reporting so that you can print a hard copy and put it into a notebook, or perhaps you want to print it into an electronic file like PDF to share with perhaps an organization that awards observing certificates like the Astronomical League. So in order to do that, I need to open a detailed observing log document, and I can do that again with the File menu and New and choose Detailed Observing Log. Or I can actually create one that has all the same filter settings as this existing brief observing log document that I have displayed here. And the way that you can do that, because the two documents are related to the same type of information and filtering, you click Window and New Window. And that allows you to open a different view of the same search settings. So I'll click Detailed Observing Log, and now I have two documents open in Deep Sky Planner, and they both have the same search settings. So just to prove to you that the same project filter is defined, clicking the Projects tab, and the Edge on Galaxies item is selected. So I can click Search to produce a page-oriented report, and I can show you this by clicking the Hot Zone button to expose more of the report pane. And here you can see most of the details for the observation, and then the description, the comments appear in this pane. If you had attached an image, it would appear here. The image could be something like a CCD image file, or it could be a scanned sketch, or anything else that you might want to include as an image. You can scroll through this type of report using these buttons in the bottom right corner. We can click to see next records. We can jump to the last record or back to the first record, and so on. So with this type of report, perhaps you want to print it. You would do that by visiting File and clicking Print and selecting the printer that you want to send either the hard copy to, or in this case, I'm sending the report to a PDF virtual print driver. In Windows 10, which is what I'm using at the moment, there is a virtual print driver defined called Microsoft Print to PDF that will create your report in a PDF file. Previous versions of Windows didn't have this included, but there are other PDF virtual print drivers available, like PDF Creator is one that I've used in the past. So you might be using something like that. So if I click OK, then I'll be prompted to enter a file name for the PDF file, and we create the report. So in order to give you an idea of what that PDF file looks like, this is very small, but you can see that the different object entries appear with a dotted line in between. And it's paginated nicely so that you can flip through the different pages. Back to the top, I'll zoom in a bit so that you can see how it's laid out, very much like the screen rendering. The detailed observing log report does offer a very nice page-oriented view of your observations, but there's no further customization available with that format. So if you want more customization, I'll close this and close the detailed log report. This brings us back to the brief log report, where you do have more flexibility. As we said earlier, you can turn on and off the display of various columns. You can move them around. And if that still doesn't suit your need, then there is yet another tool available. So I'll close the log report, and I'll move back over to the Observing Log menu, click, and open the Observing Project Manager. And this is where the further customization is available. What we need to do then is select the observations that we want to appear in a report, and then save the exported item list and open it for display using an XML style sheet which defines the format. Now, this is a technique available only to people that understand XML style sheet technology. If you happen to be one of those, then you will have complete control over what's displayed in your reports. So, for example, we'll go back to the Edge On Galaxies project, and I can export the observations in that project by clicking Export, or I can export only certain items in that observing project. I can click the log and export everything in the observing log, or I can come to the right-hand pane and select various observations for export. So I can do the Windows Shift-Click technique to select all of these, and I can use the Control click to single out one in the middle of the sequence. But for this demonstration, I'll just select a few observations to export, and I'll click Export. Now this will open an export dialog box where I can see a confirmation of the observations that are going to be exported. You can actually choose all of these or a subset of these. For this demonstration, I'll choose all of them. So each of those observations and all its details are copied into the export list. When I have identified the observations that I want to export, I can click Save. From here, I can select either the Deep Sky Planar native file format, observing log data, or I can select some other formats, including Open Astronomy Log format. Now, I will say more about that in a moment. But for this demonstration, I want to stick with the native Deep Sky Planar format, and I'll create the export document with this name, Edge On. So there we have a nice status of the export procedure. I can see that everything is present and that the export completed. Now let's view the file that we just created. And this is really where the ultimate in customization is available to you. I have a default style sheet that ships with Deep Sky Planar, and it is selected for you here. If I want to view the observing log document that we just exported, then we select it and open it And the style sheet that is selected here on the Observing Project Manager is used to create this view of those observations. You can again use XSLT technology to customize this to display any way you want it to. So we can scroll through this document and we can print it if we like. Now, as I said a moment ago, Deep Sky Planner can also export observations that you select using the technique I just described. You can export those observations to any other software that supports Open Astronomy Log 2.1 format. So in order to do that, you select the observations of interest, click Export, and when the Export dialog box is shown, you choose the items. I'll select all. And when you save, we'll choose Open Astronomy Log format, and we'll give it a file name. So that will create that file, and then you can import that into other software that supports Open Astronomy Log. Now, I've had various users ask me if they could import their observing log from other software into Deep Sky Planner. And the usual way of doing that is through Open Astronomy Log format support. If you use a product that does not support Open Astronomy Log, there are some tools available that we have in-house that can help to convert a delimited text file into Deep Sky Planner format. And of course, once you have imported those observations into Deep Sky Planner, then you have the ability to export them in an Open Astronomy Log format to share with yet other software. However, these tools that I have in-house are somewhat moody. It turns out that delimited log files do not define the relationships between the various things that compose an observation. So the rules that define what the different relationships are, they're undefined. So an import process has to either make guesses or the user needs to answer questions. So if you need help importing your observing log from other products, please contact Nightwear and be prepared to send a text delimited format file and correspond so that the file can be converted properly for Deep Sky Planner. In the past, I have worked with users on converting files produced by their own spreadsheets, by Astro Planner, and by SkyTools. These formats are all different, and they all take some time to work through, but there is an in-house tool to help with the procedure. So that covers the observing log reporting capabilities, and I hope that this view of how it can be used in the various use cases that might be employed has been helpful, and thanks for watching.